Hello and welcome to We Women Want. This is our weekly show where we focus on women issues, we celebrate the winners and we try and find solutions for the problems. In fact, it is fast becoming a support group for women all over. But today we are going to be focusing on something that has shaken our nation for the last month or so, the Kolkata rape and horror. It's not the fact that it's the rape and horror, but what happened after that, and also the fact that this is something that is continuing. We are focusing on that one incident because it made the news, but there are rapes happening. If you look at the statistics, the rapes are happening more or less every day in some corner of the world or the other. The mindsets is not changing. That is something I'm going to be focusing on today. The mindset, how we bring up our boys, why do we always blame the girls, the victim shaming, what happens after that, and why even after a law such as what happened post Nirbhaya, we have a strong law in place. Why are we just going for stronger laws and not for implementation? What will be an effective deterrent? What can we do about that? Joining me are people who have actually worked in the field, who have some first-hand knowledge, who have tried and helped those they can. In fact, we have people who are here who are doing the groundwork. Joining me on the show is Yogita Bhayana. She runs PARI NGO, that is People Against Rapes in India. In fact, this is something she founded after the Nirbhaya rape case, if I am right, and they help and support rape victims, try and rehabilitate them, try and help them with legal help, mental health and all sorts of whatever they can do. Also on the show is Dr. Suman Khanna Aggarwal. She is a former professor of philosophy at DU. She is also the founder and president of Shanti, Sahyog, which is a Gandhian NGO, and they work for victims of domestic abuse, rape victims, slum children. In fact, they are doing a lot of good work also. She has also authored books on Gandhian philosophy. In fact, I think her books are running into second and third editions. And we have with us Dr. Aruna Kalra. She is in fact just out with her first book, I Want a Boy. She is she's a gynecologist, a doctor who's again seen firsthand the mindsets of people. The book talks about female feticide, women oppression and atrocities of women. So I think keeping in mind what is happening in Kolkata, the mindset, Yogita, this is something I have heard you talk a lot about. Tackling the issue is also going, not just talking to the girls, be safe, lock the girls up at night, but the boys. One has to address the issues from, I really like that point that you make.
Absolutely, because we've been working over years, and since Nirbhaya time we've been doing a lot of gender sensitizations in slums and in all spheres of lives. Like I do a lot of trainings with police, I do a lot of trainings in colleges, schools. So I mean, we have come to realize when I go to a college or a school, we talk to girls and I don't know what to tell them. I just need to tell them, speak. Do not just take it like on yourself and do not blame yourself and speak. But I have a lot to talk to boys, a lot. Because the whole thing is not that we are talking about that they are our enemies or not like that. But you need to just do a little bit of counseling and motivate them. You would be surprised, Priyaji and all of you, that most of my volunteers, I have around 2.5 lakh on my social media, they are interested to work towards this cause, and I have trained 10,000 personally last year, going to each and every district of Bihar and Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand. Most of the people who would like to come and volunteer for this cause are boys and men, 80%. So I can see a very good light there. So we need to really work on that and channelize them. When you give them the opportunity to work towards this cause, first of all they reform, and then they want to contribute, and then they talk to 5 or 7 or 10 boys or men, and that is how the things are going to change. The whole mindset has to change, and focus should be men and boys, not girls.
Fair enough. Dr. Suman, you also been dealing with cases of domestic violence. So, आपको भी लगता है in terms of are people now at least, are you seeing a change in the mindset that girls are coming out, because a lot of your people you're dealing with are from the slum areas. Are girls now finally speaking out कि उनको बोला जाता है कि चुप रहो?
No, in fact you'll be surprised to know that we ran a gender resource center under the Delhi government for 7 years, and after that now we are still continuing with the center for women, and in these years we finally built trust, because until there is trust they will not come and speak to you at all. So now we have, in fact, our counselor and advocate are very, very busy, because a lot of cases come, a lot of reporting is done. And I would like to say here that it's very sad that over the years, I mean, okay, there used to be rape, but now violence and rape is going together. That is a very sad development over these years we have seen. For example, even on August 4th, there was this, Muzaffarnagar Dalit girl, she was gang raped. and then after the rape her breasts were cut off and then her body dumped. I mean, why? Shraddha mein bhi tha, Shraddha case, remember? Mutilated. So in the same way, even this one, the doctor, I understand that also I found, they say that her, from her pelvic, it was 90 degrees, the legs were like that, and also I believe 150 grams of semen. Normally one ejaculation, maybe you know more, 15
5 ml, 6
5 अच्छा लोग कहते हैं 15 होता है, but 150 तो मतलब probably gang rape था ही, whatever. So what the violence with it, ये बहुत हो गया. And yeah, maybe I can talk a little bit later on about marital rape also, and the violence with that.
No, good point, but we'll just come to it. But the mindset, that is the thing, and also the parents, you're talking about female feticide, that still is happening, despite all the efforts to.
Yeah. So when I had written the book, and the pile of book is on my table when I'm seeing OPD patients, and it was morning 9 when this first patient entered, and she brought with her this newspaper, which was a month or 2 months back, where on the second page it was like the person had dumped her twin newborn daughters, and this pregnancy was after IVF. So her wife was not able to conceive after first child, and then they went for IVF. This person had this notion that after IVF they would have, like IVF would give them boys. So this is again a misconception. Yeah. So he thought that it would be boys, and when they tested, it came out to be twin girls. He asked her to abort. She did not. She ran and delivered at her parents' house. But again, he went there and dumped. So it was a big half newspaper article, and this lady, she came and she said that I came to show you, and please sign my book and see, this is the article in today's paper, and this is happening even today. So when I was writing these stories from the time when I joined my after post graduation, say 2000, and from 2000 till say 2024, these are all compilation of stories from the time I started my post graduation. And I thought, once I get the chance to publish, by that time this female feticide would have gone. And I thought it would be just a story that once upon a time it used to happen. But I don't think this is the case. Even today, when I see, I worked in government setup and then I worked in private setup, even today I see that this want for baby boy is there. Different means to have the boy, different means to kill girls, to have engineered babies, but even in educated, affluent class, the desire or desperate desire for boy is there.
That is the mindset, Yogita, that you must be facing every time on your work also.
Ji Priyaji, and I'm glad at least somebody has written the experiences, especially coming from the gynae fraternity, because people just deny everything. We are a society, we don't want to hear anything dark around us, and we just say, okay, suppress it under the carpet. But this is the reality what she is saying. I mean, that headline when I read, Times of India, it gave me goosebumps. It is happening today. So maybe it is illegal. Maybe people are not doing out of fear, but the desire, that itself speaks a volume about it, and that's the whole journey starts from there. When we deal with such cases of atrocities against girls or women, I think it starts from there where she's talking about. So I think it's all about mindset. So how do we change the mindset is the biggest question, and I think we should discuss and deliberate on that. What is that need or desire is there? What do they expect from a boy which a girl can't do, or why do they think a boy will be a better option than a girl? We need to deliberate a lot on that.
Have you seen anything change from Nirbhaya to maybe the Kolkata car case? Then those are the two cases.
No, unfortunately. People are saying, reporting is more, people are coming forward and reporting. What is this? I mean, there are atrocities. I'm talking about the cases of Nirbhaya kind coming to us every now and then. And when I see a 2-year-old girl who was raped and killed in Meerut last month, it is just 40 minutes drive from where we are sitting and discussing this issue. I mean, are we in some kind of a la la land or whatever I can say? no, this is a reality, nothing has changed, atrocities are there, maybe they were there before, but now if we talk about progressing a lot and developing a lot, but then our mindset is still the same. We are actually not even sparing 2-year-old girls, or boys for that matter. I get a lot of cases of boys also, school going boys. So, I mean, there is no, say that there is no curb, everything is the same, rather it has gone to worse.
Things haven't improved and all. And also you wanted to talk about marital rape, which is another thing. I think there are two things. One is people speaking up and whether it is pressurizing the political class to act, at least in certain cases that make media headlines. The second is the girls should know their rights, and one of them is what happens within the four walls of your house.
Well, I think we deal with slum, underprivileged, absolutely. So, of course, now there's so much of trust that they come and speak to our counselors and advocate. And marital rape is, it's very much there. And it's also, how should I say, it's not only sex, it's very painful sex, it's unnatural sex. These days, videos and all people see. So, so the men, I mean, please remember, they're living in the jhuggi. Jhuggi mein sab log hain na, matlab, how much privacy can you get? So the women feel there's a lot of shame that in front of my children he's demanding, or in front of my children he's saying, why didn't you have Brazilian wax done? Imagine how do they get, and they said it's so expensive to go to a parlor, then some of them use ash to remove their pubic hair. It's very, very painful. So they say this is such a lot of shame, then they will sleep, and sometimes they're, I'm sorry to say all this, but an erectile penis or whatever, then wo बच्चों को ना, they feel a lot of shame also. And then then they say that, for example, anal sex or even oral sex, and sometimes it's so bad that they've got choked. So, something which should give pleasure or whatever. So, but violence bahut hai.
So, girls should have to say no. It's the
women, I'm talking about the women.
Can they say no? Do they have the right to say no?
How can they say no to the slum women? She's totally dependent on him. If she says anything, he will not even give her the money he gives. Very often they are earning. He is busy playing cards and having liquor. Right. So, I mean, the scenario is totally different. It's very sad.
So slum area, but your patients are obviously middle class and the people who come to you. वहाँ पर भी this mindset.
हाँ, तो when I was working in government hospital, every other patient was, if she was delivering a girl, and we were announcing that she has delivered a daughter, all the relatives would mourn on the birth of a daughter, or they would not come and give some food or change of clothes and all those things. So we were facing that in government hospital. Like every time it was third girl, fourth girl, either mother herself would kill, and I've written in this book also that mother knew the last push because it was her 5th or 6th or 8th delivery, and she knew that after this, like with this push, baby would be out, and for that she would go to bathroom, she would push it there, and if it was a girl, she would strangulate the girl either with a cord or with bare hands, and then she would have that triumph feeling that okay, this girl is now, like I have relieved her of this agony, lifelong agony of either hateful relatives and unwanted, unwelcoming child. So this was there in government hospital, and it was really painful, and that's why I had to spill on the paper. But when I came to corporate hospital in busy, affluent maternity centers, I saw my senior had a very roaring practice, and I was like, either she is really good, because other 4 or 5 consultants didn't have that kind of practice. And then I got to know one day when I was on night duty that the laboring patient knew that it was a boy, and she told me that how she got this boy, like artificial sperm selection, XY sperm was inseminated with selective IUI procedure. So this was going on in way back 2000. A selective sperm, male sperm was instilled, and this practice, because that's why her practice was really good, because she was offering a male
Promising
child,
a boy child. My
so
God.
she was promising a boy, and now another step. Now the richness is to another level. They go abroad, and abroad it is not illegal. So you can actually ask for engineered baby. So they would go to many other countries. It would cost some 20 to 30 lakhs. They would stay there for a month and get male embryo transferred to their womb. So this is another story altogether. So if they do not want to, kill female child, but still they want a boy, and the daughter-in-laws are educated, they don't want to go through all the pain of repeated abortions, or they don't want 3 or 4 or 5 girls. So it's like, okay, I have a girl, if you want a boy, let's go and travel abroad. It is tourism, it's another tourism, medical tourism business.
The story is, it's when you thought you heard everything, you hear something more. But I'm going to take a break and come back, and we're going to keep the conversation going, but after a very quick break. Hello and welcome back to We Women Want. At a time when we are actually celebrating the girl child and our politicians are actually wooing the women vote, on ground the case is very, very different. As we've been hearing in our discussions, we were focusing of course on the rapes, but there is a mindset that precedes the rape that allows men to think they can get away, as Dr. Suman said, not just by raping the woman but by abusing her, by mutilating her. Is just, I mean, the situation, Yogita, is getting worse instead of getting better, and I don't even know what to ask you.
I don't even know how to react to some situations, because ma'am and I have been working in the same field, and whatever she was saying, I was like resonating the same exactly word to word, whatever she says. I mean, exactly how women are suffering, you know, this unnatural sex and pornography. I am not regressive, okay, I am not regressive, but at the same time we are not prepared, we are not ready. And this is mushrooming like anything. You just pick up the phone. Even now if I open my phone, it will just pop out. People say, okay, it is algorithm, they pick up. But sometimes you just don't want to see something, but it just comes to your phone. And look at our kids, what are they seeing? And what are they watching? And there has to be some regulation. I am not saying, okay, there is a blanket ban, but what are you doing? Are we ready? And 80% of our cases in sexual violence crimes, there is a charge sheet, in the statement it is written that after watching pornography, they get triggered and they don't know what to do, and this is how they pick up little children. And this is exactly happened in RG College as well. If you see, he has not even seen the pornography, he has seen the wild pornography. And that's exactly ma'am is saying, and I echo with her, that there has to be some regulation. Are we doing anything about it? No. So we are just saying, okay, isko phansi pe chadha do and do this, do that. That is okay, what we want. But are we doing anything which is very much preventive? 80% of the cases are reported after watching pornography.
Which is the thing, that a lot of them are inspired. That for instance, the Nirbhaya case also, they were just inspired by what they see on camera and TV, and but this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, but for this case also, the accused Sanjay, he had actually gone to a brothel because with his friend who wanted to have paid sex. And he said, he said, I can't afford it. But he was already very aroused, and he had watched videos. That's
wild
what,
videos.
You know, wild videos, and then all this happened, you know. So this is very much then, talking also of rich people on the Yamuna Expressway, there is a big building, Supernova, dekhi hogi aapne. So on the 30th floor, people book, I mean, wealthy youngsters, they book the floor, and they have rave parties, and they have a lot of drugs, and there's also some new drug which is synthetic, some paper, it's like paper, just put it on your tongue. So all that. So, you know, when we are talking about preventive, or then coming to my slums, there also, like in my Bhumi camp slum, there is one Ganja Gali. आप जाके खरीद लो, उसका नाम ही है गांजा गली. एक और है हमारा नेहरू कैंप स्लम, तो उसमें है तोता गली. वहाँ जाके अल्कोहल खरीद लो, एंड प्लस देयर इज अनदर चोर गली. तो इन सब गलियों में you know,
how would cops not know? Of course it is happening right under the
but let me just complete this. So जो वहाँ पे गलत काम करते हैं ना, they have a blade on their tongue. I don't know if you know that.
No.
They actually keep a blade on the tongue. तो ये ना and so that they can just take it out and, you know, mutilate people or whatever.
Yes.
So I'm so shocked.
Blade is very common.
So imagine. So this is what my counselor and everybody told me, and imagine
you see a lot of children and adolescents with scars.
So it's on the tongue.
That's a
can you
kick
imagine?
they get.
So this is how they do it. And so when you're talking about preventable, I'm sure the rave parties, कितनी बारी raid हुआ होगा. Or even this Tota Gali, Ganja Gali, क्यों नहीं raid होता, क्यों नहीं लोग आते? But then it's all a connivance with the police and everyone.
And it is all interrelated. What she's saying is everything is linked to what we are talking about.
And
the violence
ultimately it is profit. And last thing I want to say is that everybody wants money, easy money. They don't want to work for it. And I don't know, sanskar bhi kahan chale gaye, because at least this nishkam karma of the Gita or whatever, but we are so fond of our culture and all. So, that's also there, this looking for easy money.
And I guess inheritance and all is also part of the reason why a lot of your patients would want the boy child.
Yeah, so again, as you are discussing your horror stories, you would be amazed to hear now. This, as I said, is a medical tourism, okay? And in many states, now we know Haryana, Punjab and all those, when the population of females are decreasing, if you get down from the bus and you ask the auto driver or the bus conductor, you want to get the sex determination of the child, they now know where to take you, okay? Because they have this commission, okay? So they would take you to a nursing home where sometimes there is a doctor, sometimes there is just a quack who does not know what this screen has, like there is no connection between the probe and the screen. Screen is showing some baby picture, that newborn's ultrasound picture, and he is putting the probe on a woman's womb, abdomen, and telling, most of the time he is telling 80-90% of time that it's a female. Okay, why? Because once he tells it's a female, then there is another commission attached, that then he would be sending that patient for abortion. Okay, so if it is 20 weeker, 24 weeker, whatever, and then there is a whole commission system. And whenever we raid, whenever NGOs go and raid there, and I discussed many of them under PNDT Act, everything is like, they know, they get the information that there is a raid and this kind of female would be coming. So everything is spread. You see the fate of a lady who has a boy who has been waiting after 5 or 6 girl children that this time it would be, and she is wrongly told that it is a girl, and then she gets abortion, and then it's a male baby. This kind of tourism is going on. So in India, you can get away, I think. I don't know whether I should be saying that.
Maybe Dr. Saab, we should make sex determination legal.
So it was legal. Can I say?
Yeah,
please. It was legal. So in before 70s, when ultrasound machine had come in government setups, in government hospitals, we used to tell, like our seniors tell us, that they used to tell that you have a boy and you have a girl, because we were under British this thing, and we had that influence. But our populations started that they started taking undue advantage of it, and then there were doctors who were getting money, 25,000, 20,000 to abort that. So because this the wrong started, that's why they had to ban, because the female population started going down. But it was very much legal. In fact, nowadays also we tell that when you go and raid a clinic where you think that doctor must have disclosed the sex of the baby, if I'm seeing 10 patients in a day and 5 were female and 5 were male babies inside, I have written in front of parents' name and number. You follow it up. No, it is difficult to follow it up, that those 5 females were delivered or not. How many of those 5 female fetuses were aborted? You are going, and sometimes innocent doctors are also caught for no reason, or sometimes for whatever reason. But I have seen doctors who are caught, sometimes even if they are not wrong, many are doing wrong also. But why can't we just follow those parents who have killed their female girl fetuses?
So what do you think?
Should preventive?
Should it be
it's all
made?
about awareness, Priyaji, honestly. It's all about awareness, talking to, of course, women, and talking about their rights. And what she was saying, women only goes for a last push to the washroom to see if it's the girl, and she's strangled it. I mean, women cannot do this. I mean, if at all, like, gender sensitization is needed, it is for both the genders, and we need to tell our women also. But of course, as I said, more focus should be boys. But at the same time, we have women like what she's
No,
talking
but
about.
that woman is actually suffering in her whole life. She is like
But she's
treated
not
like
killing
slave.
because she doesn't want her to suffer. She is killing because she has a fear of a man or a sasuma, you know, at home. You know,
Or she
I mean,
can
there is no
envision-
excuse for it, for
No,
sure.
there is, but she, as she says, she's in slum, okay?
Yeah.
She can envision her life
The girl child.
for that girl child,
Yeah.
and she doesn't want her to have that kind of life. I don't know, like,
Yeah, but then
But you know, now with
Yeah, but
laws
you
have,
know,
inheritance laws have come in equal rights. Girls are becoming financially independent. There is a, you know, even as daughters look after parents more. Despite all that, people still want a son.
Priyaji, one thing.
Is it the physical strength of the boy?
You know, when you
It's
talk
all
like this,
mental.
you can't really generalize 1 billion people plus, and then is it rural India or town India talking about? What is that percentage of educated you are talking about? So I think because I work in the slum, those women are illiterate.
no, but law is
even the
there.
educated
illiterate.
women Priyaji is talking about, they are also
Yeah, that
seeking
also-
boys. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's not
And
about,
especially from rich families.
No,
it's
rich
all
all
family-
conditioning. It is only conditioning. I think girls are taking good care of their parents
Yeah,
than
very
men.
much so.
Today's scenario, you can rely on a daughter than a boy. Like, I'm not being biased here, but this is what the reality is.
I can add in the
Okay, quickly.
educated class.
So my affluent patients who are really filthy rich Delhi girls who have good businesses, billions of this thing, they come and they are like, my husband, like I do not have son, and that is why my husband has been they are not giving any property or any part of the
Share.
business share to my husband, and she feels really sorry for her husband, and then that's why she wants to go at any length to deliver a boy to give her heir to her husband, because husband is loving, and so such millions of whatever
Yes,
property worth, they are not getting anything. So that's the I
Greed,
think trigger or the will or wish
It's
for
greed.
heir.
Simple words.
It is.
But
End
even
of the
in-
day, yes. There are the
Even-
last
yeah,
word. Yes.
Yeah, like I was teaching in Delhi University, and even my colleague was I taught philosophy, English teacher, English professor. She had already 3 girls, and she was forced to have a 4th. And that time, this is a long time ago, and thank God, and she used to cry in the staff room.
Thank God it's a son.
Ah, it
So
was.
that we've seen
So I
a lot
think-
of
So let it be
cases of that
educated
sort.
class or
But
whatever.
end of the day, I think the problem begins. We've seen the climax of it is the rape and the mutilation and the horror. But the problem begins really in the homes, in the womb, literally, as Dr. Aruna has pointed out, and the mindset, and the focus has to be both on the boy and the girl. It is, the problem starts really there. But thank you all for this conversation, very enlightening. And Dr. Aruna, all the best for your book, which I'm definitely going to be reading for sure. And thank you for watching this show.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.